Hi again, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Did you get a chance to view the entire first video? Did it bring back some good memories? In my mind, I kept seeing pictures of the different groups of the photo coach workshops while I was doing these videos. Now, meeting and working with all of you has been among one of the most uplifting moments in my life. Now, in the first video, I told you that there came a time when I had to reevaluate my teaching method due to the new technologies available. Now, in this one, I want to share more information on our next evolution in transmitting this business system. Now, a new format which I hope will enrich your business knowledge even more. As I was preparing for these videos, some more thoughts that came across my mind. My own career, my own realities of life. You see, I turned 70 last fall, an age where most people would consider retiring. I've traveled a lot over the last 17 years, and spending more time with my family is quite important. As a matter of fact, 2017 was the only year where I did not go abroad to teach. This was a big change since the year 2000. I made several trips each year. Now, meeting small groups in the workshop environment is really rewarding for me, but the evolution of technology makes it possible to be more efficient in sharing knowledge. So we're using the new technology to create a new style of teaching that is a lot more flexible. And it also corresponds better to today's reality, today's challenges. Now let's look at the industry. It's becoming more challenging to convince people that live workshops are a valuable way to learn and connect. 3-day workshops mean spending time away from the business and the family. Besides travel costs and lodging expenses, they're increasing all the time. So my decision was made easier when friends and colleagues offered to join me and develop something new within the Photo Coach International. And that would bring business solutions to a much larger audience. Solutions with a higher level of implementation and follow-up. Now, this is how I can see Photo Coach International moving into the future. Now, since I have a special love for the photographic industry and its community, this is quite important for me. Therefore, we developed a new vision. So we feel that this educational program for professional photographers is needed more than ever. Now, we all know that the competition has grown exponentially over the last few years, and to maintain the perception of value in photography, we must not let go of our mission to educate the new photographers entering the market on the principles of business. It's not that complicated, but so many photographers unable to tackle the basic issues and end up being discouraged with their results and their career. Now, here's another important point. I have noticed that some photographers are in the profession for questionable reasons, like making a quick buck regardless of the consequences for the unfortunate clients who fall victim to their doubtful practices. It's sad, but it's real. Fortunately, it's not the majority. Now, we would rather focus our energies on those who take this profession seriously, just like you do. Those who provide top-level service and quality. Now, another reality is the way the consumer regards photography as a service. In many cases, photography has become a commodity item, and pricing seems to have moved up the ladder of priorities. Now, you know that. You're on the front lines every day. It's a lot easier to take a picture today, and the tools are becoming more sophisticated day by day. Now, part of that reality is that many clients do not value photography on anything other than the amount of money they are willing to spend on it. While this may be true at this moment in time, there are many great image creators who deserve to be fairly paid for their art and their talent. Now, this is where we come in as the Photo Coach team. It's in educating the serious photographers in the new ways to realize their own value system and in developing ways to sell it to the qualified clients. So this is why we decided to update the Photo Coach system. Now with the new possibilities, the new teaching possibilities, namely the online and with video streaming, this creates a new learning environment which is a lot more flexible and also more economical. Now as a reminder, in video one, we looked at the three different personality traits of photographers. Now there's a natural salesperson, the artist, and the perfectionist. While we know the many qualities of each trait, we looked at the various challenges each one represent in business. Now maybe you recognize yourself in one or more of them. So let's continue. Let's go a little deeper in the 9 subjects that we've learned in the live workshop to build a brighter future based on a proven system. So we started by establishing realistic goals. Now on that topic, now remember the letter that you wrote to yourself? I mailed it back to you a year after the workshop. In it, you were asked to list at least 6 goals you wanted to reach within a 12-month period. I will admit that this was one of my most powerful tools, because the comments and the feedback that I received from many of you told me that most of you not only reached their goals, they have exceeded it. It was so excited. Now, from the day I mailed those letters back to you, I couldn't wait to hear the comments, and they came back in droves. Now, some colleagues actually told me that they were afraid of opening the envelope in the fear of being disappointed. As it turned out, they were blown away when they finally read and that they had written what they had written a year earlier. Point number 2, understanding the mechanics associated with pricing and profit making. When we covered this subject of making money, I could see in your eyes that this was not your favorite topic. You just wanted to get it over with and move along to sales and marketing. Numbers are just not your thing, right? But after we looked at the spreadsheet specifically designed for a quick and simple understanding, I saw a lot of relief in your faces. As a result, many of you had the courage to reassessing your price strategy, and to my knowledge, those of you who had to increase their prices much slightly had never had a chance to roll them back, because this is what they had to do. As a matter of fact, many of them told me that they should have done it before. Now, this is what knowledge, explained in a simple way, does. It gets rid of the fear of making a move and making a mistake. Number 3 is that we learned the basics of branding and positioning your difference in the marketplace. This also was a big eye-opener. You are totally aware that so many photographers copy each other, hoping to crash the market. The same style of photography, they're cutting prices, and so on and so on. And today, most of them struggle because today's consumer is more educated about what is quality and what has value. Setting yourself apart from the crowd was and still is imperative for your success. Point number 4, we spoke a lot of value. We spend a good deal of time focusing on what brings value to the table, because we all know that the perception of value has somewhat decreased because of the abundance of players and pricing, which is basically all over the map. We've covered the 4 major components of value. The first one is needs, the wants, the preconceived ideas or even the fears, and then the emotions that are attached to any purchase. Now remember the segment that we talked about, the Disney Institute, that their research has proved to us? Next, we pinpointed ways to create your own niche in a busy and competitive arena. Now this follows this previous point by focusing more on specializing. Today's avid consumer wants to invest their money in people with greater knowledge and expertise. You see, the lack of expertise shows up pretty fast. Anyone can point a camera, not everyone can produce a great photograph. Then we move to qualifying and converting prospects into faithful clients. It's our job to educate clients into the right buying decision for their needs. Now, since the time is such a crucial part of our daily lives, no one wants to waste it on people that don't fit our customer profile. It's also a question of respect for the potential client who may not know exactly what they want. Then we moved on to selling your services and products while respecting the client's needs and wants. Remember what I said during the sales module? We're not here to sell anything, but rather we're here to help people buy according to their needs and their wants, and to propose products which last a long time, not just digital files. So a good comprehensive sales process that informs your clients will make their investment the best one yet. You also learn how to answer most sales objections with logical arguments. Now, the right words used at the right moment in a sales process are designed to increase the value of your products and services. And it also confirms an informed, it makes it easy to have an informed decision by the client. You have experienced in your years of business a lot of sales objections, most of them very common. Often there may be difficulties in dealing with those because you may be lost for words. We provided multiple answers to a large number of objections, which I feel are part of the buying process. Now, when a client brings up an objection, he's basically saying, give me more information before I make my decision. It's not a personal attack on you. I'm sure you feel more confident when you're facing sales objections today. Now, generating new clients is great, but the challenge is to transform these clients into customers for life. Making each client an ambassador by implementing a strong referral system. I was extremely proud that in my studio that we built long-term relationship with our clients. This is how we kept clients for years and years. Now, as a matter of fact, the biggest clients I ever came across in 1980 is still working in the same photography studio some 37 years later. This is, in short, what we covered during the workshop. Now, I remember after each workshop, the way each of us went our separate ways. The motivation was running so high. The group synergy was powerful. The exchanges between the participants were so valuable to each one of us. And many have kept in contact with me and to share their successes, and that makes me real proud to have participated in a small way. Now, I invite you to listen to a few testimonials at the end of this video from photographers who shared their experience 1 year after taking the workshop. Check them out. You'll find them below. So with my new mission, my goal is to relight the flame. Now, social media has opened so many doors to keep relationships alive. We are the family of a sort, tied together with a sincere will to succeed as a professional photographer. And I feel it's important that we stay connected. Now, in the next video, I'll tell you what I have in mind to help those still in the industry. We will introduce the PhotoCoachonline course system layout. I will explain exactly how we built it and how you can benefit from this new learning method. Now, remember my online piano course that I was talking about a little while ago? I was so impressed by the format that I somewhat got inspired in designing the new PhotoCoachonline course system. Here's a quick glance. So there are 6 modules. Number 1, show value. Now, I wanted to start with this one to reaffirm the principles of value in photography, whether it's social-related photography or B2B. Number 2 is making money. Here again, we looked at how much more money you can make because you and your family deserve the best. Number 3 is getting clients. It's still a big challenge these days. We are constantly challenged by uninformed prospects. Therefore, qualifying and getting clients, it's imperative. Number 4 is selling your work. That's really the name of the game. There's no question. No sales, no business. Then number 5, we move to keeping those clients forever is what will give your career a long and lasting profitable effect. Constantly having to renew your clientele is not only hard, it's totally inefficient. And finally, number 6, staying organized will confirm to your clients that you are a true professional, and the trust factor will take root right from day one. For everyone staying still involved in photography, this could give you the much needed boost, not only in business, but in motivation. So in closing, I'd like to remind anyone who may not have answered the 3 questions from the previous video that it is still time to do it. Your answers will help us design new material that will provide solutions for your day-to-day operations. Now, let me remind you what they were. Where are you today in your business? What have you done lately? What were your main obstacles in reaching your short and long-term goals? Now, print your answers in the comment box below. Now, thank you so much for doing this. Okay, this is it for this video. Now, I hope I sparked a small flame warm enough for you to want to learn more. Now, stay connected for the 3rd video of this series. If you have not downloaded the ebook From Passion to Profit yet, go for it. You'll receive a great bonus with the book. And then, I want you to listen to the testimonials below. You really don't want to miss what's coming up. In the next video, I will be making a deal that you don't want to pass it up. Oh, I almost forgot. Why don't you tell your colleagues of what's coming up with PhotoCoach International? Tell them to go on our new website, PhotoCoachonline.com, and register. Now, as a member of the PhotoCoach family, you'll be presented with a special offer that will not be available to the general photographic public. Not only are you getting the first crack at what's coming up, but you'll benefit from a very special deal. So stay connected. I invite you to listen to video 3 coming up in a couple of days. You'll learn a lot more. Talk to you soon.